has not been the best week for reasons I'm not going to go into here. The cliff notes is that I'm fine and just going through a lot of stress and anxiety and uncertainty. The other bad news is that I went ahead and I got Nex Machina like several weeks ago. It just came out this morning and I tried it, but unfortunately the game, it pretty much brought my computer to its knees. I tried to record it, I put it on medium, and even on the menu, it was completely lagging the computer, just alt-tabbing, or even doing something minor, like trying to add the source on XSplit. Completely slowed the computer down, so unfortunately I had to refund it. I know that they have that promotion for another, I think 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, so I might get it again. I went into their Discord and they said to talk about it in their bug report form and submit that, so I did. Kind of mess things up a little bit. The game itself is really fun. I hear that it runs fine on console, so if you have a PS4, I don't think there's any performance issues there. The PC port also looks really blurry, which I think is really odd. I'm not sure what is causing that. Someone made some external mod to fix it, but it looks like it's just got some problems. Maybe it's just isolated to me. I don't think enough people have bought it on PC to really give a good consensus on that, but I had to refund it. I decided fighting with it and worrying about the 2-hour limit to refund it was probably not in my best interest given my stress levels. So what I'm going to do today instead is talk about the changes they've made to this game. Now the first thing they've done, I'm sure you watched, some of you may have watched my achievement run yesterday. They've added soul value, which is basically your currency in this game. They've added currency to every achievement. So if you get these done, you actually get a pretty significant amount of them. Like the one at the bottom there, transaction, that one is basically for beating the true last boss, which I did on easy mode. As you saw yesterday, I definitely over-prepared for that. But you get a pretty decent amount for doing this. The problem right now is that there's really nothing to use it on. I could only assume that since they added this just a couple days ago, that they're probably planning on expanding what you can use the currency on. Right now you can only use it for a single weapon and a single consumable item at the start of a run, but apparently it's going to unlock everything from items to, I guess, avatars and equipment. So if you have the game, all -2 of you that have the game that play this, that don't already know this, it's actually in your best interest to do these achievements because you'll have a lot of currency to work with whenever they update things. Now the achievements are they're retroactive. The rewards for them are retroactive. So if you have a pretty decent chunk of them done, you'll just have a whole lot of currency to work with. So that's basically the main thing that they've changed from the the outside part of the game. The game itself, they added a style menu or style system, which works pretty similarly to the DMC games. Like you get kind of style decay for using moves a lot, which I think is it's a bit flawed right now. A lot of the moves don't have a lot of the weapons don't have their full move sets, so you hit the style decay pretty often. Even if you go through pretty much the majority of your move set, you do get more style for dodging and countering. So if you want to let the enemies live, it seems like you get some kind of buffs. I know obviously this game has pretty much no English information. I probably have more English information on this channel than anywhere else on the internet at this point. But it's supposed to buff you. I have noticed a little bit of a damage and speed buff. So it is worth trying to keep it maximized. Basically, if you fight really efficiently and you're able to dodge attacks, you'll stay at S rank or around S rank pretty frequently. So I'm going to go ahead and play through the first floor here. I already put up a full run yesterday, so I figure that's sufficient for now. They have not added anything to the this NPC here. I assume this is where you're going to unlock more items and things later on. But you can see I have like more than I could possibly spend. Even if you die in this game, if you lose a run, you actually do get rewarded experience. So therefore, the most it could possibly take you to use these services is 500 points. If you go through a full run on hard, you'll get pretty close to that if you full clear. So you might have like a small deficit, but not enough to make a This game's kind of hard to make patch overviews for because they update so often, but it's been like 3 days. So I assume something big is coming. Like, you can see the decay kicks in pretty fast, even though I was using pretty much all the moves outside of the special ones in those combos. So you don't really get much time to keep the meter. It's not like, say, DMC4 where the your grade will decay for a while. I forget how the whole style system works in DMC4. It's been way too long for me to really accurately recall that. But in that game, it would decay for like 1 or 2 grades, and then it would go away completely. Here, it pretty much decays instantly. So that's kind of the problem with it. They're trying to promote stuff like DMC where you use the majority of your moveset, you don't repeat things too much, and you fight efficiently, meaning you dodge and counter. But the problem is that the decay from the movesets or using your attacks kicks in way too often or way too soon, so you can't really make much use of it, unfortunately. Even if you try to wait and dodge an attack like you would in DMC or Bayonetta, both of those games don't really punish you too much for waiting to dodge an attack to start a defense. You don't really have that option in this game. You pretty much have to be on the offensive the whole time. I hope that when they finish adding a lot of the extra moves that are supposed to be added to the weapons, that things will get a little better. Right now, it feels a little flawed. Anyway, I'm going to speed through the rest of this floor here so you guys can get a little bit more of a view of it. They haven't really changed too much else. Everything else has been kind of under the hood things. All the counter moves have invisibility frames now, which unfortunately kind of goes against the style system that they've added. Some of the counters are actually pretty good. Like the one for the sword and shield is actually pretty good because it stuns everything for free. But if you wait for the enemy to attack, then chances are you're going to lose your meter. Like, you can see how fast it's decaying. Pay attention to the style meter, the bar, how fast it decays once I finish this fight. You really don't have much time at all. It's very strict. I'm not entirely sure what the style meter does. It's in broken English on their patch notes, but it's supposed to like basically just be a straight buff to pretty much all the attributes of your character. I should probably test it out at some point, but they've been changing things so fast. I didn't really feel like it was worth my time to get that in depth with it when it's probably going to get overhauled pretty soon. Not that that's a bad thing. I think it's great that they address features and issues with their game so often, but when you try to educate people about the changes in the game, it can get a little difficult. Sometimes I have to wait like a day or two and see how things kind of mull over before I bother. That's just a testament to how hard these guys work. It seems like I think they've sold a couple thousand copies of this, so it's not like it's doing terribly. It just hasn't really got a international appeal to it, I guess. Which happens, Sengoku Basara is the same way. The game doesn't really have much of a community at all outside of Japan, and pretty much everyone who plays it outside of Japan knows each other. I think this game is going to be a lot like that. They got a pretty huge following in in China, but outside of there, it doesn't seem like anybody's really playing the game. Anyway, that's pretty much all for now. I may do another one of these in the near future. For them to not update for half a week is really unlike them, especially when they do it even on weekends. Like even when it's the weekend in China, they've still been updating. So we must be working on something major, but this will make it a little easier to tell the changes in the next batch, probably in a shorter time span. Anyway, catch you guys later. I apologize that I was not able to do Nex Machina. It was slowing my computer down to a crawl. I just decided to just get the money back. Maybe I'll get something else. The Steam sale is supposed to start, so I might grab something small off my wish list and just get that instead. I really wanted to play the game. The game itself is great. The gameplay is amazing. I think they did a great job, but the PC port just does not like my rig. So I might actually get it for PS4. As soon as I get that capture card, in the house and I get it installed and everything, I'll probably try to get that or something. Right now, the plan for next month is to at least partially pay off the capture card. He said that I'm able to pay in installments, so I want to pay him as much as I can. I'm going to pay off Marvel Infinite, and then maybe I'll try to find something else. But I think with the way Steam sales work is basically pretty much no one wants to release their game during a Steam sale, because it just means that it's going to get just buried in people wanting fat discounts instead of new games. So there's probably not going to be too much new on Steam for the next few weeks. There's not really anything coming out in July that I'm particularly interested in at all. So I might actually be going back to PSO2 to prepare for the hero class. Anyway, I'll keep you guys posted on everything. Peace.